Hi, I'm here with San Mudd, CEO of Bytes Technology Group, a really important partner to Microsoft. And so BTG, which is Bytes Software Services, and Phoenix Software, is working with a ton of different customers to drive AI adoption. So maybe bring it to life for us and share some examples of what you see out there.
Thank you, Darren. Yeah, no, we're working with hundreds of organizations in both the private and the public sector. In terms of where we think the most immediate impact is most certainly public sector in terms of providing services to citizens and allowing the services to advance, be more efficient. I'll give you some examples because I think it's exciting, some of the work we're doing. We're working with one global charity, Charities Aid Foundation, which distributes £1.1 billion to over 250,000 charities in 100 countries. And to do that, we have worked with them around M365 Copilot, making their processes more efficient. Their CEO is also blind, and we've enabled, through the disability support within the technology, him and his team the ability to actually power on and make a lot of this decision making more efficient for them. So that's a powerful use case. If I move into academia, we're working with universities, one in particular where the engagement with students has been profoundly improved through the use of chat boxes. I could give you an example of a national fire service where the use of AI in terms of correlating data, historical and understanding where there have been fire and immediate needs to attend to urgent crises, projecting that forward and knowing where resources should be allocated in the future has really made a difference so that they can actually be smart in standing up the resources for protecting the public in the future. And I could go on and on and on. It's a really exciting era, and of course this resonates wonderfully with the government strategy.
Yeah, like you mentioned the government and the focus on public sector. Obviously we're seeing a profound set of conversations and pull for AI across both commercial and public sector. But it is interesting that the UK's government AI action plan, of which Microsoft had a strong voice in, is very much focused about how we drive AI adoption across both central and local government. And I think that plays to a brilliant opportunity for both our organisations as we look at that going forward.
No, that's absolutely true, Darren. I think this government in particular is driving this and is serious about it. So I'd love to ask you a question, if I may. How does Microsoft view the importance of strong partner capabilities in AI adoption, and what role do you see BTG playing in helping UK organisations navigate their AI journeys?
Well, look, fundamentally, the first principle of Microsoft is we're a partner-led organisation. I think it's within our history, our now near 50-year history in terms of how we execute, and the 43 years that we've been, in the UK. I think, driving and leading with the partner approach has been fundamental to that. But actually, I think it's even more profound now in this AI era because this is a change and a transformation journey. It's less so a technology adoption. You think about Copilot and the fact that one moment you're looking at M365 and the next it's got Copilot embedded. It's there, but what do you do with it? And so, the journey to take a customer on a persona-based transformation of how they use these tools to transform that role and the function and what they did yesterday and what they're going to do tomorrow. At the core, that's a partner-driven motion. And so I think we have a huge opportunity together to bring that to life and also to make sure that we're landing the right skilling in those organizations as they go on that journey, because that's going to be a fundamental part of the roadmap we're on. And so just excited to continue to lean in and work together on that particular journey.
Yeah, no, I agree, Darren. And as a business, we have, over the last year, we've been standing up teams in line with that vision around adoption, change management, around the security aspects, because we know that AI cannot be seen in isolation. It's all of those things you've just talked about. So, Microsoft has been at the forefront of AI innovation, embedding AI into its own operations and productivity tools. Could you share insights into how Microsoft internally leverages AI to enhance efficiency, decision making and innovation, please?
Yeah, so like if you just take a step back and think about the Microsoft journey so far, I think we're really the first to land at scale AI embedded into all our product sets. If you think about whether it's GitHub Copilot, M365 across Dynamics, building Copilot assistants into the core of our products has been key, as well as kind of building out the core, custom-based way of building AI through our Azure OpenAI and the frameworks and Copilot Studio products that we have. So fundamentally, building that platform over the last, 18 months to 2 years has been, forcing us to kind of ensure that we're customer one, because we've been experiencing it early, and we're absolutely doing that. If you think about any of the business functions that we have to run our core operations, whether it's facing the customer in sales, or whether it's how we operate some of our larger business. I'll give an example. Like we have one of the biggest call centers in the world, 40,000 agents covering the Microsoft core, but also Xbox and other Microsoft businesses, and that's a $3.5 billion cost to us every year, $3.5 billion. And so we think we're on track in this fiscal year to take that down to about $3 billion, take $500 million out of that operation.
Wow. Yeah.
But actually the cost is one thing, but it's actually the fact that the volume that we're driving through incidents in terms of connections with customers is increasing. The NPS score is going up, and the retention of staff, how committed they are, because they're now focused not on the mundane, they're focused on solving real problems that actually then get, the problems that get to those agents has been remarkable as well. And so that's just one example of how we are customer zero in terms of our operation. If you think about our sales teams, the way they're using agents to really better understand their customers before customer calls, and how they're capturing and capturing the feedback from customer discussions more autonomously. There's not an area of our business where AI is not the core of our thinking as we move forward.
Great, and I could echo that with our use internally. In fact, one of our operations, Bytes Software Services, did a recce of the hours saved in terms of people that had Copilot licenses, and when we actually added all of that up, it meant that we potentially did not have to hire another 27 people because we were taking the drudgery out of their daily tasks and actually making them more free to do other things, more exciting things with their day. So looking ahead, what are Microsoft's key priorities in AI for the years coming, and how do you see the partnership with BTG evolving to support customers on the journey, on the AI journey?
Yeah, so from a UK perspective, I talked about the AI action plan. It's kind of very aligned to that. How are we building the physical infrastructure that supports growing demand for scalable, efficient, AI technology? And so, we'll continue on that path of building out the data center footprint across the UK. But actually building that is good, but actually it's getting customers to either build new businesses or to modernize their existing businesses using that kind of next generation AI infrastructure that becomes really important. And so we'll be taking customers on that journey. We're having a profound set of conversations at the CEO, ExCo level with our customers, because this is a fundamental shift of business rather than a technology shift, and we'll continue on that path. One big part of the conversation, as we mentioned earlier, is skills. We know that lack of skills is a blocker. We committed to actually train 1 million people before the end of our fiscal year in the UK on AI skills. Because I do fundamentally believe, and I see this in all the conversations I'm having with customers, that actually our customers think they don't have the people, but actually they do have the people, it's just those people don't have the right skills. And so collectively, through our partnership, we'll help them on that journey, we'll help them, leave them with the right skills that they need to execute profound AI transformation across their business.
Lovely. Thank you, Darren.